Welcome back, everybody, to another weekly recap and fortune-telling event where we talk about where Bitcoin has been and what is likely to unfold, as well as talking about all of your favorite poop coins. Some are dying, some look horrible, some look strong, some are making new all-time highs. Sounds good? Great, buckle up, let's go. Okay, so starting out here, we have got Bitcoin. What has happened? Well, first things first, let's go out to the weekly time frame on the charts. Let me close all these little shit coins here on the right. No need to look at those for now. Well, we got some good and we got some bad. We've got a pretty big wick coming in on the weekly time frame, which is fantastic. We do have some buying pressure coming from below. We also have a trend line here that is holding up, and a pretty ugly looking bull flag, which is kind of hard to argue right now. But if we did bust above that, it would be fantastic. But we are sitting on a support line. How much lower can we go? Who knows? But there's a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, what is looking nasty? Well, that would be both the weekly MACD and RSI. You can see that we had a head and shoulders pattern on the weekly RSI. We also had we are in the red on the MACD on the weekly. None of this is good, right? We've got momentum to the downside on both the RSI and the MACD. Very strong, tried and true indicators that should not be faded. So weekly, in my opinion, this is looking pretty bad. Unless we turn around and we get some good news and we get a nice strong candle to the upside, momentum currently towards the downside. That is on the weekly. Let's jump into the daily time frame. What do we see? Well, if you don't already know, things often come in threes. For example, we've got here from the most recent rally, 1, 2, 3 drives to the upside before we ate some shit. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3 drives to the upside before we pulled back. On a more macro scale, we have had 1, 2, 3 drives to the upside before starting to pull back. So things do come in threes in trading. It's a bit subjective when you're trying to look at it. But what does it look like now? It looks like we had 1, 2 drives to the downside. Will we get the third is the question. And where could we get a hint to what is going to happen, either this week, next week, whatever, in the nearer future? Well, there's a few things you can look at. First and foremost, you should look at where orders have been placed, which is going to be these dotted green lines here. On the upside, we're going to assume those are mostly short orders, and on the downside, we're going to assume those are mostly long orders. It's also coming in at previous support, which is now resistance right here, and that is sitting right at about 60K, which makes sense. So we're assuming that these are short orders down here and buy orders coming in strong around 52,000. You might ask yourself, how do you know where these orders are, Matt? Well, let's jump into it. I gotta flip my screen here quickly. Now, there's paid software that a bunch of YouTube influencers will shill on you because I'm sure they have referral links and get paid to do so, but let me show you the free stuff. You do not need to pay for any of the software or websites that I'm going to show you today. So let me just switch this over to some software called Bookmap. Boom. All right, this is what it looks like. And usually it has these pretty cool big balls that show you where all the big orders are being placed, but since it is the weekend, we're not seeing that right now. But anyways, let me jump over to my software here. Yeah, okay, if I scroll out, you might be able to see those giant balls that I was talking about. No, they're there. There's these giant balls. And often these are flying in your face, giant red and green balls, which just mean there are more sell orders being placed versus long orders being placed. But we're not going to focus on that right now. I just want to let you know that this software is free. It's called Bookmap. There is a little bit of a learning curve to it. I'll let you figure that out on your own by watching YouTube videos. But this is free software that shows you where long and short orders are being placed generally. So if the orders are above price is right down here at the moment in the middle. If orders are above price, it often acts as resistance, or it can act as resistance. Sometimes it blasts through. when you have a bunch of orders down here, especially in red, that'll often act as support, as they are most likely buy orders. Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of all this, but these can be fake orders placed by the market makers that disappear right before price goes down and hits them. I'm not getting into that today. I'm just showing you the software. It's called Bookmap. You can download it, run it, and this is the free software that will show you where orders are being placed. Big time for Bitcoin. You can see there's some really huge orders up here at 72,000, but I don't think we're getting 72,000 this week, so I'm not really too concerned about that. So going back to the charts now, give me a second. Boom. Back to the charts, we're going to look at where these orders are coming in. Okie dokie, so here we are. Now you can see where these orders are on the charts. We've got those orders from Bookmap are highlighted in the green here at about 60,000 and about 52,000. We are currently on the daily time frame. So now we need to take a look at where the liquidation levels are, i.e. where are the people that are going 50x, 100x going to get taken out. Why? Because price often goes towards liquidity and takes those people out before either smashing through or reversing. So again, there are paid ways to see these, but the best way and the free way, in my opinion, is this website called CoinGlass. If you want to take a look at it, it is the chart I'm looking at is Binance, BTC, USDT, liquidation heat map. So this shows you where people get wrecked, where they get taken out, right? And price often goes there. So you want to check this out on a variety of time frames and start, same things when you look at charts, scroll up before you scroll in. We're going to start on the 6 month. You can see in the yellow here, this is where people have huge buy orders to protect themselves from shorting the top, right? This is where their stop losses are, right up here. So if they don't take profits, they will get taken out right there. So good to know, not too much below. It's not looking that bad below. So really, you want to look for these yellow levels as a general rule of thumb, and which ones are closest, because price will often go to the closest one. So let's go down 3 months. Again, this website is called CoinGlass and it's absolutely free. If anyone tells you you need paid software to see this, you certainly do not. Okay, so scrolling down into the 3 month, same thing, 72,000. Yep, nothing really to check out here. Let's go down to the 1 week. Okie doke, yep, all right, now you can see that we have some liquidations here at 58.8 and 59.4, 59.380 to be precise. So you can see how we have some liquidations above price that are closer and more people being liquidated than anything underneath. What does that tell you? Well, we might be heading up to these areas. Let's go down to maybe a 24-hour time frame. I usually go down to 24 to 3 days at most. And again, we have liquidations here at 58.7 and liquidations here at 56.8, 58.7, 56.8, 58.7, 56.8. 58.7, 56.8 is right here. Let's move this a little bit. It's 58.7 and 56.8. There was some 56, 55.7, 56.8. I'm going to put this back so I know that was a liquidation level as well. Okay, so we have liquidations, a few liquidations level right under price and one right above price. So it's hard to know what's going to happen, right? So now we got to look at our levels. We keep these in mind because this is often where price will react and potentially change course. They want to take out the liquidations, right? They want to take out both of these liquidations and price will often revert from these orders. So you got to think like, well, they might take out these liquidations or these liquidations before they bring it down here and price bounces, or they take out these liquidations come up here to these orders and price heads down, takes out these liquidations, something like that, right? So now let's look at our moving averages and some support resistance lines to see if we get any confluence. Okay, so biggest thing that we broke was right here, right? We had some huge support coming in on the daily time frame. We broke, but we're back, which is fantastic. This right here, when price goes below a huge previous level of support and then goes back above it, it is called a deviation, and it's a very good sign for the upside. We're going to drop down now, but keep in mind this green 55 moving average line. So we're going to talk about it again in the future. But we're going to jump down now to the 1 hour time frame. Reset chart view. Boom. Okay, so I'll tell you right now what's going to happen in terms of people going long. If it comes down here, retest this support, goes up and breaks this right here, this line here, and this one right here especially, price is going to pump to the upside. But for how long? Well, in terms of structure, we need to get back above here at about 62,900, something like that. So as long as we don't get above 62,900, we are just in a range. We are not changing structure unless you're talking about on a smaller time frame. But on the 1 hour time frame, you can see we are playing in between this low that we just made and the previous lower high, which was here again on the 1 hour time frame. So everything's fair game in between here. So what am I going to look for in terms of making my decision? Well, one thing, like I said before, that a lot of people aren't talking about is that the weekly MACD is pointed towards the downside. Not good. So first and foremost, this is scaring me. The weekly MACD is red, head and shoulders on the RSI, everything's heading down. I mean, it's looking brutal. But if we go to the daily, it's not quite as bad. One thing we haven't talked about that you should take into consideration is that we have fallen below the 200 simple moving average. You could use an exponential moving average if you wanted as well. I use the simple moving average, but we have fallen below it, and this usually acts as support throughout bull markets. You can see it's okay if we dump below it once in a while, but we don't spend much time below it. We might wick down hard once, that's basically it, and we slowly or quickly get above it again and continue. Same thing here, we'll wick below the 200 simple moving average, carry on. Same thing here, wick below 200 moving average, carry on. This is the beginning of the bull market, okay? So this is a really important factor that we need to keep our eyes on. If it gets, my whole train of thought is that these liquidations are probably going to get taken out, and one of these orders will probably get hit, if not both. So I'm really just waiting to see, do we get above the 200 simple moving average? If we don't, altcoins are probably not the best time to buy your favorite altcoins, despite what crypto banter might tell you. And probably best to err on the side of at least one more leg down. Remember, I said there's often 1, 2, 3 legs before any sort of reversal happens, which can usually be caught by seeing some sort of W pattern or M pattern form. Depends if you're trying to go long or short. And yeah, so that's basically it. I'm waiting for us to get back above the 200 simple moving average and for the daily MACD to flip green, close green, before I'm entertaining getting into any other alts or even taking a long on Bitcoin. Truth be told, I don't hold much Bitcoin. I have most of my cash in Solana and some of my favorite alts that have been performing fantastically well, which I will show you here in a little bit. So I think that's it for Bitcoin. Just heads up on these levels. Also, you're going to want to take a look. It's Sunday, so you got tomorrow. You're going to have to draw lines on previous high. This is the high of the week, and looking like this is going to be the low of the week, which I usually put in white, but I don't have it drawn out now because it is Sunday evening. So this is going to solidify here in about, what time is it? 11 hours. So in 11 hours, the high of the week, previous high of the week and previous low of the week should be these here in about 11 hours. So I also mark these off. If we fall below this previous low of the week, see you later. If we can get above the previous high of the week, yep, fantastic. So that's about it, guys, in terms of lines and confluence and indicators and levels that I would be paying attention to for the short term. And to be very clear, I don't trade long term. I trade 2-minute time frames during US sessions. If you're interested in me making a video about that, I just scalped the first 4 to 6 hours of US Open. If you're interested in a scalping video, drop the links in the comments. And if you like this content, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. Okay, so that's it for Bitcoin. Those are the levels that I'm looking at. I think we probably have a better chance of taking at least one more dip. I don't know if it's going to take out this wick. This wick might have just trapped traders and we head back up. But yeah, I mean, we're in limbo, right? We are above that horrible line that we broke, the horrible resistance line that we broke, but we're still below the 200 SMA. So really, we're just sitting here in limbo waiting to see what happens, in my opinion. Like, we break down, likely, if we head back up, you're really going to want to keep your eye on this 55 period moving average, because that would be a great place for it to reject even the 9 or 21. But yeah, heads up, if we get above the 200, awesome. That's our first sign that like we might actually be getting out of this nightmare. But keep your eye on these moving averages, because if it rejects from there and starts making higher low or lower lows, lower highs, again, we'll be coming down to retest this key support. But if we start breaking below this again, we could easily be coming down for another leg down, which would be the third leg down, and then looking for some sort of W pattern to play out, which might give us our next run to the upside. Who knows? Also, lots of news going on, but I don't really play fundamentals. Again, I scalp short term on US markets, so I don't really have to worry about this kind of stuff too much. Not a long-term holder. If I was, I probably wouldn't worry about it either, because if you're holding long-term, especially Bitcoin, probably going to be okay. Alrighty, so that's about it for Bitcoin. Let's jump over to the altcoins and see what we're looking at. I'm going to go through essentially all altcoins on the weekly time frame, so I can cover everybody's favorite shitcoin. So let's do it. Okay, everybody, here we go with your favorite shitcoins. I'm not going to go through every single last one of them, but I do want to go through them and show you some general trends that I'm seeing, with a strong suggestion that if you're going to get into altcoins in this season, make sure they're strong. If they're strong now and Bitcoin rips, we good. Okay, so starting off, we have Zex, which was doing quite good today. This is the weekly, but here's the daily. Way too new to look at, less than 2 weeks old. It is a DEX on Solana that I do have my eye on and am currently farming the airdrop for. I have a video for that. Okay, so yeah, new token, not too much to say. Here's one thing I want to say. Some of these coins seem like they had an airdrop and are dying. This is what they look like on the weekly time frame. Dimension, could it come back? Yes. Has everyone been dumping it for months? Yes. Be careful with these coins. Gamify, Rollbit, could it come back? Yeah, but it's got a long way to go. But yeah, sure. I don't know if I buy into the GambleFi narrative. We'll see. For now, it had most of the GambleFi that have been dumping. This is the strongest one. Look at it. Akash, super strong. These are the type of charts you want to be looking at. It's doing the same thing as Bitcoin. Went sideways, broke structure, broke the range, and is coming in for a deviation. If we start going up, should be good. Okay, here's another general theme. Some of these crypto banter calls have been god awful. Absolutely awful. Here's one of them, Astro. Gaming, prove yourself before getting into gaming. That's what I'm saying. The only big game I've heard that's been adopted was Axie Infinity by Filipino people trying to make money, basically. I'm waiting for any gaming coin to actually take off that uses crypto, i.e. like gets played in the States by the masses and has crypto, before I'm getting into any gaming tokens. Prove yourself first. I'm not going to speculate before that. Kujira, another crypto banter call, not looking great. Tucker, another crypto banter call. This is a most recent one and a most deplorable one that has gone from whatever that is to 90 set. We'll be nice. We'll say 97% down. If you listen to Crypto Man Rand and put $5,000 into this, I'm sorry for your loss. Okay, so a few themes that we have right now are dying, really bad influencer calls, and strong coins. Here's what a strong coin looks like. This is Ohm. Okay, and to be fair, Crypto Banter calls every coin. So some of them do work out, but they call everything and just remind you of the good ones that actually take off. So here's another example of a good one they called that took off, but they did not even mention it that I'm aware of until right around here when it started going sideways. I am a holder of Ohm. I like charts like this. I like real world asset coins. This is a layer 1 blockchain for real world assets. Okay, I can't go through all of these. Pith, great. I mean, it's the chain link of Solana, right? It's an oracle that feeds prices to exchanges, etc. Unfortunately, this is a token unlock, monster. It's dumping coins on its holders in mass. Billions of tokens, I think, started getting dumped right around here. Be careful of those coins. There's a website you can use, can't remember what it's called, Token Unlock something, where you can see where the token locks are coming out. Let's go to another one. Near should be good. Good project. Yeah, not bad. Near's not bad. I mean, it has been going sideways for years, but yeah, I don't know. Gut feeling on this one, but I guess we will see. Jump down, we already did Bitcoin. Oh, Cardano holders, I am sorry for your loss. You've been holding this since 2018 at the exact same price. Oof-da. 6 years, same price. Not okay. Okay, yep, ETH is, the ETF narrative. I mean, the chart looks good, but it depends. Does the ETF become a sell the news event like Bitcoin, or does it help it rally? Every other coin in the Ethereum network is going to depend on the answer to that question I just asked. What happens post ETF to ETH? If it moons, I'm sure things like Matic will run. If it goes sideways, I expect layer 2s to dump. If it dumps, I expect layer 2s to really dump. Okay, going into Rune, head and shoulders pattern looks absolutely horrible, has broken structure. If you get something like a retest of this neckline break, if it doesn't get back above this, I would not be touching it. And even at that, I would need to see a weekly and most likely daily MACD flashing green to get into it. Like I said before, anything ETH is going sideways like Matic until we get some sort of movement in ETH. I'm putting my chips on Sol. And if you want to know why, just follow the dude at Invest Answers, because he goes over, the on-chain metrics, data, charts, and graphs at length. And you spend about a few weeks watching him, and you'll realize why I am mostly into Solana, which looks good unless we get a double top and starts heading down. That would probably only happen if Bitcoin really broke down or got some devastating Solana news. So as long as Bitcoin goes up, I'm feeling like this one should rip. All right, and anything built on Solana too. Coty, another crypto banter pump when it was right around here. It's been nothing but dumping ever since. XRP, same as Cardano. It's at the same price since 2018. Why would you hold this? I have no clue. You should be buying something like Tesla. No financial advice, but I mean, come on. HBAR, great tech, but it doesn't move, unfortunately. Render, fantastic chart, has connections with Apple. I mean, this is what you want to see, right? Making new time highs. Looking good, been going up, holding structure. I mean, it's doing the same thing as Bitcoin. Hopefully it's just deviating and heading back up. We'll see. PAL AI looks like garbage. I mean, it is holding structure. It is going up, but I don't know. This has been a nasty pullback for PAL AI. Not sure where we're at. Probably 80%. That's rough. Okay, TIA, same thing. This is what an airdrop token looks like. Airdrop, hold your tokens, stake them. We'll give you more free tokens. You don't, and you start selling it. Pepe looks pretty good for a meme coin. I'm not a meme coin maniac myself. Ondo is a great chart in the real world asset sphere. I love real world assets. I do like Ondo for now, as long as it holds structure. IO.net is a new token which I would keep my eye on if I was you, in the DePIN category, built on Solana using a big network of people's GPUs, which you can be a node and get free tokens from them if you have a really nice computer with a good processor, graphics card, something. I don't know exactly how it works. DYOR, and that is about it, guys. I told you I would tell you what I'm holding. For me, my biggest holds right now are two I want to buy: Tone, Akash. Well, where's Akash? Tone and Akash, based on their charts, they do look good, but I'm not going to touch it until we get some Bitcoin turnaround. Right now, I hold a bunch of Ohm. Love the chart, looks good, like real world asset tokens. I hold a bunch of Ondo, wherever you are. But I'm jumping in and out of Ondo using the daily MACD indicator. You can see right here, you could have got out using the daily MACD when it went red. Looks like we're getting a nice little dump right now. What is, we're in the daily? Yeah, ooh, Bitcoin might be dumping right now. Anyways, this is why the daily MACD is important. Look, you would have got out right here after locking in all of these gains. Why would you get back into it until the RSI has bottomed out and we get a green MACD close daily? I don't know why you would. Maybe you shouldn't. I've got a bunch of airdrop coins, but one of my biggest small caps is Drift, because there's only 167 million tokens. It's at a fairly small market cap. Arthur Hayes is an investor, and it is, in my opinion, the best DEX built on Solana. So that's it. No financial advice. Do what you want to do, but make sure your charts are looking strong, because some of these things look like they're just dying. Best of luck out there. Avoid the hype. If you like the content from today, consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.